Tesla's factories are pretty famous for their speed of construction, but which one is in the lead after 9 months? Well, Shanghai, pretty obviously, though there are some caveats, so let's take a look. All three factories after 9 months of construction progress. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla Weekend. Giga Shanghai was the smallest of the three factories, and by a lot. It also was the furthest along after 9 months, also by a lot. The walls were closed, the roof was on, and the roads were all paved. And the production line inside was being configured and tested. At this point in Shanghai, they were just 1 month from seeing the first trial production begin and 3 months from customer deliveries. Outside, we could see construction of the battery assembly building, and as close as it looks to complete, no Tesla factory is ever truly finished. What we didn't know was that in just a few months, as customer deliveries began, we'd see groundbreaking on the Phase 2 building where Model Y would be made, which has a larger footprint and a much larger total area, since so much of it is multi-floor compared with Phase 1, which was mostly single-floor. Phase 1 of Giga Shanghai was built when Tesla's cash reserves were fairly low and there was still uncertainty about the company's long-term financials. They didn't have the ability to just throw money at the project and had to take a more conservative approach. Bear in mind that when deliveries first began in China, only 30% of the parts were sourced locally, and the factory relied heavily on components shipped in from the Fremont and Nevada facilities and other Tesla suppliers around the world. Still, like I always say about my good friend Sasquatch, no small feat. Giga Berlin was looking great and had gotten back on track from the dual delays of environmental concerns and a pandemic shutdown. Much of the footprint was enclosed, allowing for interior work to begin, but there was still a lot of columns, frames, walls, and roof left to go. The switchyard/substation looked about complete, though it's since been expanded. The first casting machine hadn't even been delivered, and the casting cathedral was pretty far from complete. And even though this video is from 5 months ago, that space still isn't complete, which is a bit puzzling for viewers. Let me know in the comments why you think Berlin has slowed work on the casting area and why it ain't done yet. If Berlin could begin production with only 30% of their parts sourced locally, they would likely be able to begin production much sooner. But it appears they're going to be more vertically integrated from day one, with production of more components like the seats being made in-house. If you're watching this video, you probably already know how Giga Texas is faring. The progress is rapid and seems to be accelerating. Crews are working in shifts around the clock. There appear to be over 2,000 worker vehicles during the day, and every day there's substantial visible progress. Following weather-related delays, Elon made a commitment to increasing the pace of this Model Y and Cybertruck factory, and from all appearances, he has done exactly that. While the site still has a lot of ground to cover, literally and figuratively, this is the largest and most ambitious of the three sites, and also the Death Star most likely to become operational before it's fully completed. It's 40% larger than Berlin and more than double the size of Shanghai's first phase. One benefit enjoyed by Giga Texas is the lack of cash crunch. Shortly after groundbreaking, Tesla issued new shares to raise $5 billion in fresh capital and did the same again a few months later. Flush with cash, they've been able to expand the scope of construction in Texas as well as the pace. We can't see the future in Texas, but we can at the other sites. We know on the 10th month update, 1 month after this, Shanghai will have entered trial production and Berlin will look, well, not much different than it looks in this video. It will have more columns, walls, and roofs, but the visible progress drastically slows at this point. Looking 5 months into the future, we'll see that Berlin is still a few months from production, and Shanghai is finishing up their first full quarter of deliveries, with substantial progress made on their second phase of construction. Whether measured by groundbreaking, first foundations, or first vertical columns, it's clear that Shanghai will have won the race. Berlin is falling behind Texas to the point where Texas might be the first to production, even in consideration of the 5-month head start enjoyed in Germany. So here's my question for you guys. What month do you think the first test vehicles will roll off the line in Berlin and Austin? Patreon supporters are a big reason I'm able to make so many videos, and they get early access, bonus content, an ad-free experience. Welcome to Bruno Maley and Milton Damer at the cool level, very cool. So what did I miss or misunderstand? Stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to see you clever robots cruising around in your locally sourced, organic, free-range Model Ys and Cybertrucks.